Yes, people, good morning, good morning. The morning inside is here again. As you know, it's Monday morning, man. Yeah, what a beautiful morning. Yeah, raining all night until now this morning. But, I want to give thanks, man. Happy, I'm healthy, I'm strong. This morning, a whole lot of action, happened over the weekend, man. When they call about the crazy game, beautiful sports that we love. Yeah, football, man. Yeah. Qatar have won, I think, their second title in the Asian Cup. Yeah, they won it in 2019. Whoa. Super Eagles have lost yet another final. Yeah, sold out to the Elephants, Cote d'Ivoire, as they won their third African Cup final. Yeah, big up to people in Ivory Coast from West Africa. Guess what, man? Bobby Reid. Yeah, Bobby Reid was one of the stars of the weekend in the Premier League for the Jamaican internationals. Yeah, and Omar Hutchinson, a man who is yet to cap. Not say he capped internationally in friendly games, but in competitive he yet to cap and call himself a true and true reggae boy international. But I think we have around two top of the league table clash, in Germany, in Spain. So I'm going to get in all of that, man. The JPL also played, last night, and guess what? We have a big Monday night game tonight. Mount Pleasant will play Harborview. Yeah, so all of the action pack, happen, and supposed to play Chelsea. Will play Wolves also today. The Champions League will be back tomorrow. We saw that big one. I think City play Copenhagen. Real Madrid will travel to Germany to face Leipzig, and City will travel away to Denmark to play Copenhagen in that first leg of the Champions League run of 16. So you guys will get all of that, the details here on the Tuesday morning. Yeah, preview the Champions League Tuesday morning. But let's kick it off. Let's kick it off, man. People, if you new, don't forget to subscribe. Like up the video and comment. Tell me what's your favorite thing about the Morning Insider. As one of my favorite thing about the Morning Insider, I always get the time to sip my tea. Yeah. As I said, Bobby Reid. Yeah, Bobby Reid. Fulham have won over the weekend. Yeah, Fulham have won over the weekend, beating Bournemouth at Craven Cottage. Bobby Reid and show with a goal and the assist. Yeah. This is a man, I think, he made his debut go back to around 4 years back, in 2019. Probably have over 30 caps now, and probably close to around 10 goals, for the Reggae Boys. I think he had around 7 to 9 goals, for the Reggae Boys. But, Bobby Reid was the starlet in the English Premier League when it comes on to Jamaicans international, yeah. Also, Leon Bailey, lost at the weekend too against Man United. But Bobby Reid, I was talking about this player on the Prem podcast, and I was saying, is he going to be a legend? Not just a legend, like a veteran player for Fulham. Yeah, he got relegated twice, and the man, been in the rut. He's been in the highs for Fulham. Got promoted twice also, but he is a really, true professional. You just never hear about this player having any issues with coaches, with teammates. He is a really what you call that, people person. He's a really people person. His attitude is right. He's one of the best player. Whenever the Reggae Boys play that game since he debuted until now. Bobby Reid always give you like a 7, 8 out of a 10 performance. Yeah, even if he missed a few goals, his work rate is really high. What I love about him, Bobby Reid, one of his best seasons, in the English game is when he was at Bristol. That season just before Cardiff snapped him up. Yeah, in 2017-2018 season, when he played 52 games in the season and scored 21 and 8 assists. Yeah, that's his best ever season in the English football. And this is a man go on to play 89 games in the Premier League for Fulham, just in the Premier League. Yeah, scored 14 goals and assists around, I think it's 3 or 5, between one of those, 3 or 5 assists, for Fulham in the Premier League, yeah. So he got his numbers, he almost played nearly 200 games for Fulham, overall in the English Premier League and in the Championship, yeah. So this is a man is doing journeys for Fulham at Craven Cottage, a few years back, he was even playing at right wing back, yeah. Omar Hutchinson, also last, yeah. Not last, they drew the game, he came back with a late minute goal, yeah. I think they played the Baggies, West Brom, at home, and he scored that equalizer goal, but, that's his third goal of the season with 2 assists. Ipswich, they've been in the rut, started the season well, wasn't that, I think Ipswich was right up there in the top 3, sniffing around, in that top 2 behind Leicester City. But for some reason, Ipswich have played 9 games in the Championship and only won 1 out of 9. So they struggling, they drawing a whole lot of games now. Yeah, but 4 points, they just 3 points behind Leeds United. They sit in 4th, Leeds is in in 3rd position. So hopefully, they can get back some run of form, and I think they will play Millwall next, coming up in the midweek fixtures, also the Championship. So let's see, take a close, keep a close eye on Omar Hutchinson at Ipswich. But next up, the big one over the weekend, the African Cup of Nations, yeah. Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire have won their third title in the African Cup, yeah. This is their 3rd final that they won. Nigeria have lost their 5th final, yeah. The last time Nigeria won this trophy, it was back in 2013, and the last time they lost a final before the one that they played, yesterday, it was all the way back in 2000, yeah. When you have man like Rabso Kanu is playing, JJ Okacha is playing for the Super Eagles. But I must say, it's a wonderful tournament, yeah. It is amazing tournament, it's a really good one. It's well organized, well put together from CAF, that's the government body for African football. Saw big TV deal, just before the tournament kicked off. It had the most viewership ever, a final, one of the best, this is one of the best African Cup, yeah, I've ever played. So many late goals, so many late chills. I think just before the run of 16 played, yeah, they had 89 goals scored alone in the group stage, and 13 goals scored over the 90-minute mark. So a whole lot of games, you have surprising teams like Equatorial Guinea, Angola, make it to the quarterfinals. You have Cape Verde, you have Bafana, South Africa made it to the semi-finals. So you have some really good teams, and on the downfall, you have teams like Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, Morocco, made it to the quarterfinals in the African Cup, and that's very, very impressive from the teams, in South, in West, whenever African Cup played in West Africa. The North African teams tend to struggle. I really don't know why. Yeah, I really don't know why North American teams struggle when the African Cup goes to the West African side. But not Super Eagles, but Ivory Coast, big win. Yeah, big win. But I must say, man, loads of credit goes to Emerson Faye, yeah, the coach of Ivory Coast, the interim coach. Remember, their coach got sacked in that last group stage game against Equatorial Guinea when they got 4-0. So they only after depending on a best 3rd spot, and they got it, and I was like, they let back Ivory Coast in the tournament, a host nation. They're going to give a reaction. Of course, they got a lot of stick from the media, the press back home in Ivory Coast, but they live up to expectation, and guess what? They delivered it to the Ivory Coast people, and it's a big shout out to Emerson Faye, and also, big shout out to the Federation of Ivory Coast to give him the job. They were looking at the French national team manager, I think Renard, the man that who won, I think 2000 and I think it was 2000 and remember when Zambia won it. I don't remember if it was 2017. I think it was 2017 when Zambia won it. He was a man, a very journeyman in the African Cup. Yeah, coached a lot of teams, and they were looking at him to bring him in for the end of the tournament. And like a loaning, but the French Federation didn't accept it, and they decided to stick with Emerson Faye, and the man delivered. This final reminder as when Chelsea won the Champions League, when you have Matteo Di Matteo, won it for Chelsea as an interim manager. He came in at the time, and no one had any expectation for him to win the Champions League, and he decided and he beat Barcelona in the Camp Nou, and the rest is just history. So the game though, Ivory Coast really started the game really well. Yeah, they really started the game really well, as the more team that looked the more progressed. I think Nigeria was too precise, even though coming up through the whole tournament, they're a little bit too precise. I know that, they have some big guns. They have some really good quality players. So, a lot of pressure is on them, especially Victor Osimhen. So they were trying to make sure everything is done 100% correctly. But I think, they were too short, in the attacking area. They created less opportunities. I think they only scored 2 goals, 1 or 2 goals. They think they got a 2-1 scoreline in the group stage. I think it was in the run of 16. But most of their games, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. They only conceded 3 times in the tournament against Ivory Coast, against South Africa in the semi-final, and the first group stage game against Equatorial Guinea when they drew that game 1-1. So they don't give up a lot of goals, and they don't score a lot of goals. Victor Osimhen only 1 goal of the tournament. I think he was bang average. Yeah, the team didn't create enough for him in that final yesterday. As soon as Adama Lukman touch the ball, 2 or 3 players is on him. So I think Nigeria was trying to play through the middle a lot too much. When you have Fofana, Seria, and Kessie, it's like a bulldozer in the middle. You just cannot play through that midfield. And next you have players like Sinagri is coming off the bench. It's a midfield that packed with brutality, force. Yeah. So I think Nigeria, missed out on this game tactically. The coach, Pesero, the Portuguese coach, know that Pesero, Jose Mourinho said that's his best friend in the industry. So he worked with Jose Mourinho for some time, I think around 5 years. But I must say the Portuguese coach didn't look really impressive building up to the knockout run. I don't see Nigeria really winning impressively. They scored and they would just shut out the game, defend and just keep the ball. But Ivory Coast, they didn't let Nigeria have their own ways. They attack, especially 36-year-old Max Greda is a veteran player for Cote d'Ivoire. He played really good in that semi-final. Was one of the man of the match in that game. But yesterday, massive game. He played his heart yesterday, and I must say, that's the name they call him in Milan. But I must say, again, you have to give him credit. Kimba, also Sebastian Allier, a player that came in the team after I was injured throughout the whole group stage. And then got a young player from Brighton. I think this player will be on the move coming summer. Let's see if Brighton is going to cash him. But he was man of the match yesterday. He was man of the match. This player is like a breath of fresh air. Him and Sebastian Allier came in the team after was suffering from injuries throughout the whole group stage, so they couldn't play it. But big credit for both players. Sebastian Allier scored his 2nd goal of the tournament. And Ngara, every time when he touch the ball, it's always danger down that left hand side. And next up, I have to give the supporters a lot of credit. They know that the host nation, they support their team tremendously from the low to the high. So, salute to the Ivory Coast people. The best African Cup. Let's see if the Euros can match what the African Cup did in January. So a few months from now, it will be the Euros in Germany. So we're going to move on. I'm going to move on from that big game in Germany. Talking about Germany, Leverkusen versus Bayern München. Yeah, this game was men against boys. Leverkusen boys let Bayern München men sit one side and look how young man play football. Yeah, and Xabi Alonso, oh my God, what a performance from his team against Bayern München. 3-0. 3-0 at the Bayer Arena. It's a big result. 5 points now. 5 points above Bayern Munich, But look, Hurricane, look, I have a stat, Hurricane, no shots on target. Yeah, remember Hurricane haven't won a trophy in his life. And moving to Bayern, think it's going to be easy. Him and Eric Dyer, this day carrying that look of drinks on Bayern Munich at this moment. They're out of the DFB Pokal. They're not sure if they're going to win the Champions League. 5 points behind Leverkusen. Xabi Alonso in 32 games, no one beaten in all competition. They scored over 90 goals. Their wing backs have scored 27% of the goals that Bayern Leverkusen scored in the Bundesliga alone. Yeah, Frimpong, Teller, and Grimaldo, massive one, man. They playing out of their skin. Trust me, these wing backs are playing excellent. I never seen anything like this in my time watching football. The fullbacks are the most dangerous players in that squad. Yeah, and Xabi Alonso, his tactics is really good. Granit Xhaka, the man who left Arsenal, yet to lose a game. He's yet to lose a game whenever he played. But I don't know if Bayern Munich can really come back from this, as Thomas Tuchel is under some heavy media criticism in Germany, from the football newspaper over there in Germany, man. But it's not looking good. It will be chaos if Bayern Munich go on and not to win the 13th straight Bundesliga, as Hurricane is searching for his first trophy. But I'm going to move on again. Hurricane, no shots. 18 touches on the ball. Yeah, 18 touches on the ball. So they shut down everything from Hurricane. Dortmund over the weekend, but they played that game on Friday. They beat Freiburg. They played in that. They're coming up in the Champions League. This is the thing I really like about German and Italian, French, the FAs. They let their big teams, whenever they have a big midweek Champions League game, they let them play, Friday, so they can fully recover. But yeah, Dortmund have beat Freiburg, at the Ignaz Idunde Park, yeah, 3-0, yeah. Fulkirk, the German farmer Werder Bremen player, yeah, have scored an assist. Malan, 2 goals and an assist. So both players are the only players on the pitch who got goals involvement. So Fulkirk, 10 goals so far, I think, in 21 games for Dortmund, and 7 assists. I think he have won 3 caps already for the German international team. So let's see if Fulkirk going to be the number 9 for the Germans coming up in the Euros, yeah. And Dortmund also keeping intact to stay in put of the top 4. Race is going on right now, as they out of a title race, so they're looking to stay in tune with Stuttgart. Stuttgart also won over the weekend too. So the next top of the table clash is Real Madrid versus Girona. Wow, Real Madrid yet to last at home in the La Liga this season. Girona yet to lose a game, in the Spanish La Liga this season away from home. So moving on, the Spanish La Liga, Real Madrid yet to lose at home. Girona yet to lose away, when traveling before this encounter, before them and Real Madrid kick off the ball, on Saturday. But I must say it's a wonderful performance, yeah, from the Los Blancos. 4-0. They teach Girona how to play football, yeah. Jude Bellingham is on fire. I think this is 19 goals. I think he have around 19 goals, for Real Madrid this season, yeah. And guess what? between Jude Bellingham and Rodrigo and Vinicius. 31 goals and 11 assists between the players them, the three players them, yeah. So they are scoring the goals for Real Madrid this season. And guess what? Real Madrid have played with Toshimeni and Carvajal in the backline. Rudiger is out, Nacho is out, Militao is out, David Alaba is out. All four centre backs are out as Real Madrid played with a makeshift centre half, yeah, a right back and a CDM played as centre half in the game, and Girona could not do anything, yeah. But that goal from Vinicius, oh my word, yeah, Vinicius is only getting better and better, yeah. 6 goals after campaign. Rodrigo is also scoring goals, yeah. And guess what? It will be frightening to see Mbappe coming with the likes of Rodrigo, Endrick, who is supposed to come in the squad in the summer, Vinicius, lightning pace. I'm so sorry for Barcelona, but talking about Barcelona, they have drew over the weekend. They drew 3-3 at home against Granada. Yeah, I think Granada is unbeaten versus the Catalonian club for the last 3 meetings now. All 3 meetings were draws, yeah, and also Granada have beaten Barcelona over the years, you know, at their home ground for the last couple away meetings between the two clubs. So, you know, Granada have some positive results that they got over the Catalonian team, you know, over recent years. But I must say, 3-3, what's going on? You know, what is going on? You know, at one time, Granada was 2-1 up. Granada was 2-1 up at one time, but it's just not looking good for Xavi Hernandez. But, you know, he is going to leave the club at the end of the season. Also, struggling relegation, you know, side, Sevilla have beat Atletico Madrid 1-0 at the Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium, you know, and that's a massive one. You know, it took a massive pressure off Sevilla, you know, the players as they tend down there in that little red zone, not in the red zone but close, sniffing in around that. But it's a massive 3 points, you know, for the Europa League defending champions. But moving on to another big game over there in Italy, Roma versus Inter Milan. But I must say, Daniele De Rossi, this was his biggest test of his tenure at his club. Roma, as you know, he have won 3 games on the bounce, but this game will always be a big game against Inzaghi, man. You know, what I must say, yeah, AS Roma, they took the game away from Inter 1 point, but Inter, the front line is just too good enough as the man to run, as he did in that first run when they played at the San Siro. He scored the winner, and also he scored a brace on AS Roma in the Stadio Olimpico, you know, over the weekend and Saturday. But I must say, Inter Milan team is looking real good. Look, Inter Milan have played some impressive games. You know, I think their last 5 games, you know, they have played I think Lazio. I think they have played Lazio in the semi-final and Supercopa. They win 1-0. They played against Napoli in the Supercopa final. They win 1-0, a late goal from Lautaro Martinez. You know, they have played Fiorentina in Florence. They won 1-0. Lautaro Martinez again, a late goal. And they also beat Juve at their home stadium in San Siro 1-0. Another shutout, yeah. And they also beat AS Roma, and they also won another game. I don't remember which other team, but trying to remember which the other team that they beat. But yeah, they're playing very impressive, and you cannot score that Inter at times. You know, AS Roma was on top of their game. You know, that's how they got 2 goals. But you know, I must say, Inter Milan looking like they're going away with the Scudetto, man. Looking like they're going away with the Scudetto, 7 points in front of Juventus, as Juventus will play Udinese later from this. Also, Milan have beaten Napoli over the weekend 1-0, yeah. Theo Hernandez scored a lone goal. That's his 4th goal of the season for the Frenchman. Also, you know, I want to say, man, AC Milan not so looking impressive, but you know, they're getting momentum now. Heard that news, you know, Rafael Leo is looking to leave the San Siro coming in summer. He signed a new deal last season, so I don't know what is going on. Is he uncomfortable? You know, is it time for him to move on? But big up to Milan. Yeah, big up to Milan, Inter Milan, Juventus, all the teams in the Italian fighting for that Scudetto race. But guess what, man? I've come to the end of the Premier League podcast. You know, bless up to everyone. As you know, it's a whole lot of things, but I don't really want to drag out the video. You know, I had some more stuff to it. As you know, the Champions League will on tomorrow, so listen out Tuesday morning for the preview of the UEFA Champions League. Peace out. Salute.